A very lovely evening to you, and thanks for watching Times News with me, Eric Nsigiti. First, the headlines. Acting Auditor General Thomas Makiwa defends exclusion of police and Malawi Defence Force in the 6.2 billion kwacha audit report. Parties won the 69 million kwacha legal costs case against former President Peter Mutharika and former Secretary to the Government Lloyd Muhara dismissed. And the high tobacco rejection rate frustrates Minister of Agriculture Lobby in Norway. We have these plus many other stories. Please do stay with us. In our first story this evening, Acting Auditor General Thomas Makiwa has defended exclusion of the police and Malawi Defence Force in the 6.2 billion kwacha audit report. Makiwa says the two institutions had no audit issues. He said this when he appeared before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament on the 6.2 billion kwacha COVID funds audit. Taonga Sabola reports.
The aim of the meeting was to provide the Public Accounts Committee with guidance on the methodology used in the 6.2 billion kwacha COVID-19 funds report. Acting Auditor General Thomas Makiwa said an audit report is supposed to contain problematic areas, adding that there was no need for his office to highlight areas which had no audit issues. He said both the police and the Malawi Defence Force had no audit issues, hence not highlighted in the 6.2 billion kwacha audit report. Rabson Kagwaminga is the spokesperson of the National Audit Office, and he explains.
There was no intimidation at all. As the Auditor General said, we conducted the work without any intimidation. We followed our own professional standards, and at the end of the day, we couldn't find any issue worth recording for the two MDFs. And also, as the Auditor General said, with the MDF, for example, at the time when the audit commenced, the funds were not yet utilized. So we only went back after they used the money during the course of the audit, and we found that everything was intact.
Chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, Shadrack Namalomba, said the committee was satisfied with the explanation given by the Auditor General.
Oh, we are satisfied. He has explained. One of the issues was the findings. When you total them up, they are coming to 39%, leaving a balance of 61%. So people and everyone else has been asking, what happened to the 61%? Was he prevented from looking at this amount of money? So he has explained to say, no. I looked at there were 17 clusters that were involved. I looked at all of them. But I also looked at each and every tambara that was disbursed to these clusters.
The 6.2 billion kwacha audit report, which was released by the Auditor General some 2 weeks ago, revealed massive plunder of public resources by officers in government as well as district councils.
Parties in the 69 million kwacha legal costs case against former President Peter Mutharika and former Secretary to the Government Lloyd Muhara won the case dismissed. The case failed to commence yesterday after it was adjourned to Friday this week. The Human Rights Defenders Coalition, Association of Magistrates in Malawi, and the Malawi Law Society have since asked the court to dismiss the case.
Respond. It was very clear that we were required to be given 21 days notice. They have given us 12 days notice, and the documents were being filed as late as last Friday. So we're saying we cannot proceed. We are basically asking the court to throw out the review proceedings. So the matter has been adjourned to Friday the 30th for a ruling at 2 p.m.
And lawyer representing former President Peter Mutharika, Charles Muhango, says the application to have the case thrown out was baseless. Muhango says rules give the party 21 days within which to apply for a review. On 12 March 2021, the High Court ordered Mutharika and Muhara to pay the costs. Now, low participation of tobacco buying companies and a high rejection rate has attracted the wrath of Minister of Agriculture Robin Lowe as he opened the Limbe auction floors. Lowe said after opening the sales, it was unacceptable for tobacco buying companies to reject good quality tobacco that was fetching good prices on the contract market. Chimumangazi has the whole story.
Same old story. Farmers complaining about low prices being offered on the market and a high rejection rate, while buyers seem to be sabotaging the auction market. At the opening of the Limbe auction floors in Blantyre, it has transpired that $1.60 is the highest price that has been offered on the auction market, while on the contract market for barley tobacco, it is $2.30 and some $3 for flue-cured tobacco. But the Minister of Agriculture, Robin Lowe, assures the farmers that they will do anything possible to make sure that they earn the most from their labor.
If you talk of rejection rate, today it's over 72%, which is very discouraging. But as a nation, we cannot do without auction. There's 20% of auction and 80% contract farming. This 20% encourages new entrants in the market. We cannot do without competition. And we are very soon engaging the buyers because this is very discouraging. 72% is not a joke. If it is an issue to do with compliance, same grades, same quality, they are rejecting the tobacco on auction. Not good at all.
President of the Tobacco Association of Malawi, Tama Trust, Abio Kalimabanda, holds that the auction market cannot be abolished, but they need to engage the buyers and all stakeholders in the industry to ensure that the auction market is revitalized and that there is competition on the market to ensure that farmers get good prices.
Always, I don't know what's wrong with buyers, but the rejection is as high as it is. So the remedy is just to sit down with buyers, government, and all stakeholders to mark the way forward.
With President Lazarus Chakwera conceding that the industry is fast dying in Malawi, it remains to be seen as to whether the country will earn the most from the crop this year.
Lack of parental care continues to force many children into the streets. Isaac Salima tells the story of two children who were taken to Mbemba Child Reformatory Center after being dumped by their parents.
10-year-old Lloyd Jimmy had been staying with his single mother following the divorce of his parents some time back. He was one day left homeless after the mother abandoned him. From then on, he has never seen her mother again.
When I went back home after playing, I found that she had left and did not say where she was going. I was then forced into the street begging until the police brought me here.
Police found him loitering around Limbe Township in Blantyre and took him to Mbemba Child Reformatory Center. And another 10-year-old Amina Ntenje's parents both passed away. A well-wisher from Balaka district had been taking care of her, only for him to one day dump her around Balaka market after getting tired of supporting her.
A certain woman took me to her home where I spent a night. The next morning, she took me to Balaka police where they brought me here.
The children were taken to Mpemba, which is not suitable for them, as the place is for reformation of young offenders who have been separated from their parents. Sadly, some irresponsible parents are contributing to what has become a social problem. The children, like Lloyd and Amina, were supposed to be under the love and care of their parents, but are living in a world of hopelessness where they face poverty, lack of mental care, support, and delayed development. Childhood is the crucial period of development, but some parents seem not to care about this.
Mbuanga dalima ina wama sinye mudakali moyo Mngambe chikoni Ikufuti katati Unitani zendi malize sukulu.
Education officials in Nkhani district are engaging the council on strategies to encourage equal distribution of teachers in rural and urban schools. The move by Nkhani District Education Office follows shortage of teachers in hard-to-reach areas. Sam Kalmira reports.
The district is currently on position 4 in performance at national level, basing on primary school leaving certificate education, and is aiming at scooping first position. Head of Education, Youth and Sport, Muhawi Chivunga, disclosed this during Nkatabe District Primary School Performance Awards held at Chinteche in the district.
We are lobbying with council that we come up with a kind of bylaw where we are allowed to evenly distribute our teachers.
Chinteche Zone emerged the best, beating 18 others. Chinteche Zone Primary School Education Advisor Peter Chirwa said their best performance was largely due to cooperation despite numerous challenges such as inadequate teaching and learning materials.
Parents are bringing food to learners during lunch, and learners in this zone, they are not going out. They come here, they came to the report to school around 6 o'clock and they go around 7 o'clock.
Former Livingstonia Synod General Secretary Reverend Howard Matiankoma, who presided over the ceremony, said challenges such as dilapidated school blocks, teachers' houses, and inadequate teachers are some of the contributing factors affecting education standards in the district.
We cannot say we are 100% good. No, there is room for improvement.
Chikali School emerged the best in the district. Several teachers from different schools were also awarded for performing well and were given certificates, cash, among others. Palombe comes first as best performing district at national level, followed by Nzuzu.
This is the news on Times Television, TTV. We'll be back with more news after this break.
Tipolole kungonjezera mayunits ati TNM kuyambira 200 kwacha kapena kuposera pamenepo mutha kukhala mmodzi mwa mamilioneya mu TNM Tipolole promotion. Koma mukaonjezera mayunits ndi 100 kwacha kapena kuposerapo mudzilandira mabonus oyimbira foni, SMS kapena data pompo.
TNM, always with you.
If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
Do your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
after noting that there were some gaps in the running of finances within some government departments following a training needs assessment TNA. He said there are many reasons that are leading to mismanagement of finances in various institutions, including lack of knowledge.
You know very well that our Malawi 2063 vision, one of the pillar is human capital development. And the president, state president, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, when he was guest of honor on a public lecture, he mentioned about that we need serious public servants because of scandals concerning corruption. So we come in as providing capacity building. So that's our role, yes, to seal gaps which have been identified, because erosion of ethics, erosion of professionalism has been noted by Malawians. And many people are not having confidence in our finance professionals. So we undertook a TNA, training needs assessment, with the police service. We noted the gaps, and this is like a training intervention.
Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police responsible for finance and administration, Lenford Kampiga, said the training is important and has come at the right time when there have been reports of mismanagement of resources in various institutions. Kampiga then urged police officers attending the training to utilize the opportunity and love their country by refraining from fraud.
I indeed forewarned our officers that undergoing this course to refrain from fraud and falsified accounting. In fact, as I already said, that there have been reports of misuse, of fraud, of corruption. Mainly these are emanating from accounting officers, because they're the ones who handle finances.
About 71 police officers drawn from almost all police stations across the country are attending a 2-week training at Police Training School in Limbe, organized by Staff Development Institute, SDI Mpemba.
Bus and minibus drivers that operate along the Mzuzu-Karonga part of the M1 road have asked the government to find a permanent solution at Luichi area, where landslides damage the road each year during the rainy season. This makes the road almost impassable. Apart from the landslides at Luichi, the M1 road is riddled with potholes, making it a death trap, despite it being the only connector for Malawi and East Africa. Sam Kalimira reports.
At Luichi, for example, the road was blocked for over 4 hours last week, rendering the 20-meter stretch impassable. Other vehicles that tried to snake through the mud, including that of the Deputy Minister of Transport and other government officials, got stuck. Yohane Muntali, a minibus driver who operates between Mzuzu and Karonga, said this area has been in bad state for many years.
Almost every year, this place gets damaged. These ministers pass here every time they go to Karonga and Chitipa, but they only conduct temporary maintenance. We minibus drivers are the most affected people with this place, because we use the road almost daily.
Boniface Kadewere, a bus driver, said it is questionable that Roads Authority neglects the spot by, among others, not putting a permanent solution.
We see vehicles of the Roads Authority passing at the same damaged place every year. This is questionable because we cannot be experiencing this damaged place every year, and it is also prone to accidents.
Efforts to speak to Deputy Minister of Transport, Nasen Loko, and the Roads Authority proved futile as they were locked up in the meeting. But Vice President Saulos Chilima, during his tour in the northern region, acknowledged that the road is in bad state, but quickly said the government has plans to maintain the whole M1 road from Lilongwe. Chilima said the project will run in phases and several contractors will be identified to work on the road.
In international news now, Senegal banned single-use plastics a year ago, but the regulation has been poorly enforced and plastic waste still litters the coastline and threatens health. For Earth Day, which is April 22 this year, a group of Senegalese surfers, scuba divers and activists took matters into their own hands and to set an
Health notes links between plastic pollution and infertility, heart disease, cancer, and other health problems.
All of these products that are used by the industry can be dangerous, and in terms of pollution, they can attack all of our organs, but equally those of animals. But especially, as you have seen in all these documentaries and studies, it impacts marine life.
The Senegalese government passed a law in 2015 banning single-use plastics, but little changed. The law was rescinded to make way for new legislation that specifically targeted plastic cups, straws, plates, bags, and bottles. It went into effect in 2020, but it's still rarely enforced.
There is not necessarily enough information. The population, the users, are not well enough informed about the existence of this law and its different statutes.
To mark the anniversary of last year's ban and this year's Earth Day, Dakar's Barracuda Scuba Diving Club and activists held a coastal cleanup. Clean Senegal's Khadim Diouf wore a plastic costume while sorting the waste to underscore the need to make an impact.
I think we can do it, us, the citizens of the world. I don't just mean the citizens of Senegal, but the citizens of the world. Everyone must protect their environment. That's what we must do.
Until then, Diouf and other activists say they will continue to campaign for a cleaner Senegal. Annika Hammerschlag for VOA News, Dakar, Senegal.
Well, I'm afraid that's what we had for you this evening, but before we go, the headlines once again. Acting Director General Thomas Makiwa defends the exclusion of police and Malawi Defense Force in the 6.2 billion kwacha audit report. Parties won the 69 million kwacha legal costs case against former President Peter Mutharika and former Secretary to the government Lloyd Muhara dismissed. And high tobacco rejection rate frustrates Minister of Agriculture Robin Lowe. You've been with me, Eric Nsigeti, but remember you can get more on these and other stories by visiting our website www.times.mw, liking our Facebook page Times 360 Malawi, and following us on Twitter at Times 360 Malawi. Good evening.
Define your surroundings with the color of your choice.